Hey, so I'm pretty close to where we left off last time, so I'm gonna explain why I've routed the trail where I have. Right behind me is a pretty good drop, and there's actually a retaining wall made out of river rock and fencing. And it drops about 3 meters or so, and then it hits a terraced area and heads off that way, which is where I'm coming from. So I originally wandered up through this, but then found that I couldn't get onto where I'm standing, so I had to jump on earlier. So here's where the trail is. So we've cleared some logs and stuff the other day. So the trail's coming this way. I'm trying to stay as close to the edge of that as possible for drainage issues. There's a couple spots where it naturally just flows right out, which is cool. I need that, and so we won't have to worry about this getting too muddy. Like, water will keep wanting to go off the edge. So yeah, we'll wander down this way now. I grass cut this a couple weeks back, and then we came back with the chainsaw to get through this wood, which turned out to be the really hard stuff. So that sucked, but we got through it. So then we just kind of stay across the top of this, keeping the drop right there. Yeah, you can see here where the waters come from over there. You also see how the leaves and the grass aren't growing, so this stays wet and the water flows through here enough that things can't grow. So then you have a pretty defined low spot here, and then it gets back into the grass. So I want to just route around that gully and then come back through here. This guy won't start today, so I walked it really far back here for no reason. I did all this with just the grub hoe, just scraping the top, not digging down. Here's a spot up here that I've manicured really well, looks really good. So yeah, that way and all the way out to where we connect. Yeah, so when we're not doing bench cuts or moving a lot of dirt for a switchback, when we're in areas like this that are flat, you can do it one of two ways. You can just grass cut it and just ride it naturally, but the dirt's kind of got pits in it, and it doesn't make for a smooth ride. It also gives the water places to pool. So if we just skim the top, just a little bit off the top, we can pull out the grass roots and then smooth out the tread so that the water just keeps flowing off. The water shouldn't have it should have enough momentum to keep coming off the edge. It'll want to do that. So as long as I don't dig this down and make it lower than the area around it, there shouldn't be any reason why the water wouldn't keep moving. So I'm going to demonstrate that technique right now. So I'm just going to use the grub hoe to skim the top of the surface. This will clear the leaves and debris in the area that I want the trail to be. I will use a lot of kind of like a pulling motion. I'm not going to like hammer down the hoe. So you can see by the video, I'm not really digging. I'm more like scraping the surface. This technique will keep the tread from sinking and making it lower than I want it to be, and it'll clear it and make the area very distinct that this is where the trail is going to be. And then here I'm using little tiny jabs and kind of a raking motion to fill in the low spots, and then I'll use the side of the hoe like that, just push it, and I can kind of feel where the high spots are, and then also using the side of the hoe head like that will level off those areas when it's dry like it is. So yeah, if I was going to lower this trail in any spot, it would be on the left here. This would
increase the chances that the water will keep moving off to the left, which is where the hill is. And so yeah, if I would at this point just pull the leftover dirt to the right. So I do not want the trail to be flat. I want it to lean ever so slightly in the direction I want the water to go. And in this case, I want the water to go across the trail. And I do that by just ever so slightly pitching the tread towards the bottom of the hill. So that's the digging technique you'd want to use in this type of scenario where you don't have an aggressive slope or much of a slope to work with. So doing it this way will prevent drainage issues and will help you out in the long run a whole lot better than just going to town and digging. So yeah, hopefully you found that helpful and you learned something. Here's a clip of the trail to play us out. Thanks for watching.